Hi, my name is Jason West, and as you can tell, I'm part of the green shirt movement on the U of I campus this week. But in all reality, it's more than just wearing green shirts. It's about us promoting what God has done in our lives, and what we were like before we knew Him, and what we're like after. And so I just want to tell you real briefly what my story is. So as you can see, my first word is striving, because for all of my life, I've strived to try and fit in, to be good enough, to have a sense of identity in whatever I did, whether that was relationships, school, sports, and even going to church. And how it kind of translated in going to church was, I just thought I needed to be good enough to go to heaven. And being good enough looked like going to church, knowing the stories, being a good person, and just not being a jerk, basically. I thought that was enough. And for the majority of my life, that's all it was, just me trying to be good enough. But when I went to church camp one year, and it was just so evident while I was there that everyone else had something that I clearly didn't. And that was mind-boggling to me, because in my mind, boy, I really had it made. I knew these various stories. I went to church every week. I was a nice guy. Like, what was I missing? And so I talked to one of the people there and basically knew that I didn't know God. And after that conversation, that's when I realized it. And so that was really the turning point in my story. That was when I just surrendered to God and stopped striving. And that's where my second word, secure, comes in. It's because that night I realized no matter how hard I worked, I wasn't going to be able to get to God on my own. And that's because of my sin. And basically what that is it's any thought or action on my part that doesn't love God. That's sin. And so, as a direct result of that, I would be eternally separated from God. And no matter how hard I strived all my life, even if I had, it wouldn't have mattered. And the security, that is my second word, secure, where that comes in, is what Jesus has done in my life. It's that I couldn't bridge that gap. I couldn't get across that Grand Canyon that was separating God and I. But Jesus came on this earth, and He lived as a man, lived a perfect life, and then died a death where my sins were paid for. Jesus took the punishment that I deserved when He died on the cross. And because of that now, I can get to God. He was that bridge across the Grand Canyon for me. And so now there's so much security in the fact that I don't need to strive to be good enough, whether that be in church or even in other areas of my life. I have this perfect relationship with this perfect God now. And I certainly don't want to give you the impression that I'm perfect and that I never strive anymore and that I've completely stopped that. It's something I still really struggle with. But the good news for me, and for everyone too, is that by trusting in Jesus, we don't have to strive anymore. We can be secure in what He's done and rest in that and know that because of Him, now we can get to God and experience a lifetime of fulfillment and satisfaction. So that's my story. Thanks for listening. I really appreciate it. If you ever want to talk, please let me know. I'd be more than happy to talk with you about this stuff. Thanks so much.